Another episode of Going for Two. We're back here in this beautiful setup at 100 Kellogg's. More specifically, we're hanging out up here at the clubhouse.
With the moose.
Spent a little bit of time playing cornhole down in the parking lot down at Powerhouse. But we decided to come up here and meet with our new friend, Joe Clancy of the London Cobras. And we appreciate you taking the time. And you know, the London Cobras are an organization that are just about to celebrate their 10th birthday. So our timing with you couldn't have been much better.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. So we appreciate you taking the time, and tell us about some of the stuff that the Cobras got going on right now.
So right now at this time of the year, we have our summer spring program.
Okay.
We have between the London Cobras and our Garter Snake program, which is a program for the younger kids.
Okay.
We have 288 kids registered right now.
Wow.
Playing out of the London Sports Park.
Yeah, wow. So hockey is really a 365.
Basically,
I mean, you guys don't play on Christmas, do you? Maybe?
Gotta play at Christmas.
Maybe Canada.
In the basement with the mini sticks, right?
Maybe Canada Day, take the day off so that the kids can play some baseball or something?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, talk to me about how this all began. I mean, we're 10 years in now. That's a whole decade. How did the London Cobras come to be?
So going back to when I got involved with the Red Circle Hockey Organization.
Okay.
Back in the day, about 15 years ago, I got involved with them.
Okay.
And then the group of kids I had that were going through that were looking for something a little more. They wanted something a little more competitive and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I suggested to their parents and to them that we would enter a league called the Ontario Rep Hockey League.
Okay.
Which is where the Cobras play right now.
Yep.
And we entered a team into there at the U18 level.
Okay.
So we started there. The second year we had a second team at the U15 level. And we've built since then. Now we're up to from U9 all the way through to U18.
Wow. And we've talked to some people that have started building programs, and it seems like you built your roof and then the foundation after.
Yeah, that's just the way it was.
Yeah. I guess you gotta start somewhere.
So it was just automatic for us at that age group because I had that group of kids together for 4 years already.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And it was just an option for them.
Yeah.
So everybody says, why the Cobras? What are the Cobras? We're just an option from Hockey Canada.
Right, okay.
Like we're not trying to compete against them or anything else. We're just offering people an option.
Okay.
Like a lot of people say, well, it's outlaw hockey or it's this or it's that. It's not. It's just an option.
Right.
For kids to play somewhere else.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Like, kids should be able to play where they want to play, and there should be a comfortable environment for them to be a part of. And
yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is that with us, there's no boundaries. There's no releases needed. Like, we don't own the kids.
Okay.
The kids can go play where they want. Like in Hockey Canada, it's almost like they own the kids.
Right.
And that's what people like about our program.
Have you found that you've had a lot of kids sticking around, even though they have the option they can leave? They're like, I like where I'm at right now.
Yeah, our turnover is very minimal. A lot of kids stay.
Okay.
Isn't that interesting, right? When they have the option to move and they choose not to, right?
Right.
Love it.
Well, it's like any sport that I've played outside of like the high school level is like you're really bound by where you live. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And if you live in the South, you have to play South London baseball. If you live, if you cross Southdale here, you can play Southwest baseball. And like, house league's one thing, you can just sign up for whatever you want. But if you want to play at like an actual rep level, you need to be able to be in the right postal code, and it's not the kids' fault that they don't live in the postal code of the team that they feel most comfortable playing on.
Yeah, I think that's what why a lot of people do come over. They have the opportunity to play rep hockey wherever they like to play it.
Okay.
They're not told that they got to go play here or go play there.
And so how far are you guys stretching for games? Is it like mostly London and Elgin Middlesex base, or are you going all over Ontario?
Actually, 2 years ago, there was 3 or 4 different teams out of the Toronto area in the league. Most of the teams in the league are based out of Burlington, Kitchener, Cambridge, and the London area.
Okay.
So the other neat part why parents like this is there's no weeknight travel for games.
Okay.
All our games are played on weekends, so people like that. They're not running 2 hours on a weeknight to go take their kid to a hockey game.
Well, as a parent, I appreciate that. I mean, it's not fun giving up all your weekends, but you'd rather give up your weekend than giving up eating dinner so that you can get to Burlington after work, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So how did you come up with the name Cobras? I always love how teams come up with the names. Was this the name of the hat or what happened?
No, actually, a couple of the players, they came up with it.
I love it.
Was it like a vote?
No, they suggested it and I ran with it.
Talk about a player-driven team and organization. I love it. That's great stuff, man.
Well, I mean, the Cobra looks good on merch, right? Like
It sounds cool, man.
Yeah.
That sounds really sweet.
Yeah, people really like our new logo. So this is our 10th anniversary this year.
Yep.
We've been around for 10 years now. And last year we went to a new logo just to sort of rebrand ourselves.
Yeah.
And people really liked our new branding.
Cool. What's the colorway?
Red, blue, and white.
Rad. Awesome.
Okay, and so the rebranding, I mean, what's that process like? Did you just sit down one night and decide like, okay, let's tear this up, let's start again, or?
Basically, that was it. We were actually sitting at a bar. Who wouldn't be?
Yeah.
Hey, I made lots of decisions that way.
Part of a hockey organization, you got to sit down, have a couple drinks.
That's how their show started.
So
That's actually how their show started.
Yeah.
So that's a bunch of us got together. We were sitting there. We came up with the idea. A couple guys who went through logos and stuff. We came up with a new logo and just rebranded it.
Okay. And so the league is starting at U9. It goes all the way up to U18. So I mean, there's lots of rope for guys and girls to play in this league and to kind of work their way through it. Now, how do you get your name out there to make sure that the U9 team continues to stay stocked so that like you keep stockpiling for the next set?
So our spring and summer program, we have lots of kids from lots of different minor hockey associations involved in it because we're the only 5-on-5 program in the city.
Okay.
So we get lots of kids out of every association involved. They get to know who we are.
Yep.
And a lot of people just come over just from the spring summer program.
Okay. And like, is it just fundamental hockey for the summer, or is there some fun stuff? Is there some games, some tournaments?
It's just our spring summer program is just Sunday games.
Okay.
So we run, start at 8:30 in the morning, run till 3:30 in the afternoon.
Okay. So like pickup
So
style?
that's my summer.
Yeah.
Go to the rink.
Yeah.
So for the folks that are out there that want to be a coach on a team, right? Is there a way that they can go through it? Like usually you join with the team when your kids are on, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't have that opportunity, how do you become a coach?
Most of our coaches are non-parent coaches.
Oh, I love it.
So
Okay.
all they do is they apply to me.
Yeah.
So the unique thing about our organization is most organizations, they have a board of directors.
Okay.
They have 15, 16 people sit around a table. They never agree on something.
Yeah.
Sounds like a board of directors.
It takes forever to make a decision.
Absolutely.
With the Cobra organization, there's myself, my treasurer, who's James English, and Lee Walton. We run the Cobras. Decisions are made amongst the three of us, basically me.
Yeah, that's right.
But so if there's a decision to be made, it's made immediately. We don't have meetings and meetings and meetings to come up with a decision.
That's cool.
Right. Yeah.
So people can get the opportunity to get into coaching.
Yeah.
And
All they
level
do
too.
is they apply to me, and we sit down with them, meet with them, and then we go from there.
That's awesome.
Well, we have a coach on our set. So this is a football coach.
There you
So
go.
how do we get a football coach onto the ice? I mean, you might have to get a wheelchair to get him over because I'm not sure he can walk across the ice. But if you get him behind the bench, I bet you he can motivate a kid or two.
First off, I played hockey for 18 years.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Everybody makes it sound like I've never worn a pair of skates in my life. I played hockey for 18
If
years.
you had skates on, I think you could get across the ice. If you had shoes on,
As long as you just give me a little push.
okay.
It's been a long time since I put a stick in my hand, though, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Well, you guys would have enjoyed watching me behind the bench for the last 2 months of the season. I did it on crutches, and then I broke my ankle in February. One of my players ran me down.
Oh, damn.
So everybody got to watch me try to get around me behind the bench.
So you said you guys play on Sundays during the summertime, and even during the winter league as well. How much ice time are the guys getting during the week? Are we running 2 practices a week, 3 practices a week?
So our program is based on 1 practice a week, 1 skill development session a week, with either. So it's the last few years it's been with Goin A hockey. And then we have the 1 practice a week, and then it's 1 league game during the weekend. So the odd time 2 league games on a weekend.
And it's been 10 years, and you started it. You got it off the ground, and I can tell just from sitting across from you, you're still loving it.
Oh yeah.
So, what keeps you motivated? How do you keep going? Like, any specific stories within the organization that just like you wake up in the morning, you're like, yeah, I am a Cobra.
Well, I think the biggest thing for me is that the involvement watching the kids graduate out of our program and move on to AAA hockey.
Okay.
So for last year, we had the most kids in the city make AAA hockey coming out of a non-AAA program.
Okay.
So
Talk about
that's
building
pretty-
the foundation in London hockey.
Yeah, that's gratifying. Like people say, like we don't want Hockey Canada or anything else. We're not competition to them. We want to see kids graduate and move on to stronger hockey.
Right. The two could run parallel, right?
That's right, yeah.
Exactly. Like, there's no need to compete with each other. They want to play a couple games or whatever, and maybe see how it goes. And that's a different story.
Unfortunately, they won't allow their teams to play us.
Oh, they're nervous.
Don't want to get bit by the Cobra.
Yeah. So you said you've been in and around hockey since back in the day, which I hear was a Wednesday. What is the biggest change that you've seen in the sport? Like my big thing that I knew there was no hitting for the younger ages, but I think I was told that you can't actually have contact like 14 years old now, or 13 or 14 years old. Is that the case?
Yeah, right up to till you get to U15.
Wow.
And then they're allowed body contact. That's been a change, but probably the biggest changes over the years that I've noticed. I've been coaching for 40 years now.
Wow.
So, age myself.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think it's just in the attitude of the kids themselves.
They're driven now. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah. So they've got to, in order to get to anywhere in the game now, it's a full-time thing for them.
Right. And that's the thing, right? Like, the hockey kids aren't playing baseball anymore, and they're not really playing football anymore. It's,
No.
You either
But
play
back
hockey or
when I
you
first
don't.
got involved in coaching hockey, kids were always playing lacrosse or ball
Yeah.
or soccer or something else. But today, a lot of kids, they're totally hockey oriented.
We had the opportunity to interview Brandon Prust a few weeks ago, and he kind of said the same thing. When hockey ended for him, he played baseball. He was that athlete that did that, and he's going, now I'm training these kids that are coming into his gym that are strictly just here for hockey. They're not doing it for any other sport anymore, right?
Plus, like, also when we were even like playing hockey, like going around, we would eat spaghetti before the day before, right? Like,
spaghetti
now
and
you don't
pizza.
do that. Like,
Get those carbs in you.
Yeah. We were told that that's what you're supposed to do. Now carbs are the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like gluten in general is just, it's off the table. So
I coach junior football, and our goal is to get guys to the next level, whether that be university or the CFL, because I coach 18 and over. Our biggest goal is getting kids to university. You said you guys send the most kids to AAA hockey this year. Is that what you want to be known for? Is that feeder program?
I think that's a big thing. Is we're a program that kids get a chance to thrive on learning the skill of the game. We're not worried about winning this championship or winning that championship. If kids go on the following year and graduate out of our program and they're going into better level hockey, that's what it's about.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, giving them a platform to get better. Now, is the Cobra organization supportive of like the high school hockey group that's around? Like,
we have a lot of kids in our U15 and U18 program that they do play high school hockey as well.
Okay.
So they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So,
And
the high school atmosphere for kids is very, very important.
Okay.
So we encourage the kids to go out with their high school teams.
Right, yeah, and I mean that makes sense, and it only gets them a little bit sharper, right? They come back with some skills here or there. It's like almost playing in like an all-star group, and then you come back and you bring all that back into the club team. And running an organization costs money, and everything costs money. So what do you do to make sure that that wheel keeps turning? Because you don't want the sports wheel to come to a grinding halt for a kid that might not have the money to get to that point, or whatever the situation is. I'm sure, you know, there's organizations out there that charge thousands of dollars, but as it gets like to the season and you're doing these spring programs, is there fundraising going on, or like how does the oil keep going into the machine?
So every team has a certain budget that we have to charge in order to cover that budget.
Which makes sense,
but
yeah.
Every team is allowed themselves, so we're not an organization that dictates to the teams what they can do fundraising-wise and what they can't do. So a lot of them want extra ice time or extra this or go to extra tournaments, so they can do their own fundraising.
Okay, cool.
Okay, but we do raise some funds through our spring summer program.
Yeah.
So that helps pay for a lot of stuff. We do, like any organization, end up with some kids in the organization that can't afford it.
Yeah.
So we find a way to make sure that they can play.
That's right.
That's really cool because, you know, that's one thing that I think drives some kids away from hockey is it's known as the most expensive sport to play kind of thing, right?
It is, yeah.
But if you do have somebody you can lean on there and get the kids into the sport, they'll quickly get a job at 14 or 15 to play hockey, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what, like fundraising's out there, and I think that's a cool idea that you don't streamline the fundraising because you don't know what the team is. You know, you don't know what the coach wants to do. You don't know what the age group is. The U9 team might be able to do a bake sale. I don't think that your U18 team is doing a bake sale. So they might.
I think that's
Maybe different kind of baked goods.
I really think that's the difference between us and minor hockey associations.
Yeah.
They pretty well dictate to the teams what they can do, can't do. You're not allowed to go run this thing. Can't do that. We don't try to dictate to any of our teams.
Right.
Okay. We sort of oversee the program, make sure it grows, make sure teams have a schedule to play and whatnot.
Yeah.
But when it comes to operating their hockey club, it's up to the players, the parents, and the coaches.
Mm-hmm. Right, and ultimately, like, that makes the most sense. Like, that's what needs to happen. Like, there needs to be a board of governance, the people that are making sure that you don't go crazy. But in fundraising, I know it's tight that some organizations won't even let you use their logo if it's not an approved event. And it doesn't sound like the Cobras are like that.
No. I mean, we ask people to run the ideas by us.
Yeah, well, of course,
Not
yeah.
to do anything too illegal.
Yeah. I like that you said too illegal.
Yeah, a little bit shady's cool.
Yeah, like, you know, like maybe if there's like a roulette table or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Just hope the state doesn't come in and shut you down.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Just gotta grab the money first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what's the winning pedigree like for the Cobras over the last decade? Have you guys been pretty successful?
We have very competitive teams. Last year we didn't win any age group, but most years we come out with a championship or two throughout the season. But we're a very competitive organization, which to me is the most important part.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't got to be the championship team every year, but since I started running the U18 program from the last 10 years, we've probably been in the top 2 teams 8 out of those 10 years.
That's cool. That's good.
So, have you received a call from the Toronto Maple Leafs?
They could
Thank
use some help.
goodness not.
I mean, I know that they've been having a really hard time winning, so.
Actually, you mentioned at least so back in the day I used to play hockey with Randy Carlisle.
Oh, really?
And Pete Orchak and I coached pro hockey together. So when Pete got the job in Toronto, I called him up that night. They got hired. I said to him, my condolences.
Yeah, and so you mentioned you've been coaching for 40 years. There's a story in there. Let's open up the war chest of Joe's coaching career. And like, has all your coaching been in the London area?
The one thing I'm proud of now is I don't go crazy on referees.
Okay.
I sort of mellowed out over the years.
Okay.
I remember
Did
one
you throw the
time.
bench on the ice? Like,
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So we were in Marquette, Michigan at a tournament one time, and the Hanson brothers were there.
Okay.
And I lost it on these referees, and they were like, I had totally lost it. So the benches in Marquette, the old arena there, they weren't solid down. They were just like those park benches.
Okay.
So I made my players stand up, and I took the bench, I threw it on the ice. You heard a coach throwing sticks on the ice?
Yeah.
I bettered them by one.
like classic Burns ditty, right? Like back in the day. That's awesome. That's a good story.
Talking about stories and listening to the past, has there been a player that's ever stuck out to you in the 40 years of coaching? We're like, that was the kid.
Well, so the one season, it was the second year of the Cobra organization. My one player asked me, he says, Joe, what's the best team you ever coached? And we just won the championship the year before. And I looked at him, I said, you know what? I said, this team here is the best team I ever coached. He said, It can't be. He said, you've coached pro hockey, you've coached junior hockey, you've coached whatever. I said, you didn't ask me what my best players were. It was the best team.
Yeah.
And that team there was a team that the kids got along so well together, and they performed really well together.
Well,
So to me, that was the best team I ever coached.
yeah. I
Say
mean,
the best championship, the next one.
yeah. Also, like 4 years together, they all come together to form a new organization. I think, like, yeah, I mean, we weren't there, but you're onto that. I mean, if you can get a group of kids together to form an organization and to do all those things and still stay focused on hockey and still stay focused on the games, like, I say that's a testament to solid coaching.
Yeah.
There's a lot of outside distractions.
That group of kids, like today, what's so cool about them, 4 of them are assistant coaches in my association.
Wow.
That's- yeah.
Full
They
circle.
come back, they come back and they coach and they stay involved in the organization and whatnot. So.
And like that's amazing, right? Like if you think about keeping guys like that in the organization, and that's how you keep the culture and the like everything kind of moving in the right. Like that makes a lot of sense.
Keeps the cogs going.
Yeah. Now, 40 years, you said, and you know we're not done with the Cobras for sure, but you coached junior hockey, you coached pro hockey. Was that junior hockey in London or pro hockey in?
So St. Thomas Wildcats of the
Okay.
Colonial Hockey League.
Okay.
I was assistant coach there with Peter Orchak.
Okay. So that's close to London.
And then I coached, I was the coach for the St. Thomas Stars.
Yeah.
I was there up north. So I'm from Sudbury originally.
Oh, okay.
So most of my coaching and whatnot back in the younger days I was up there coaching the Northern Ontario Junior Hockey League up there.
Okay. So what brought you down this way then?
Coaching.
Okay. So is it like the St.
Yeah,
Job,
so-
St. Thomas job that
So
brought you down here?
Actually I came down to coach the Stars.
Okay.
So I knew the management there and whatnot. They
Yeah.
approached me. So
Yeah.
Now, I know that head coaches, not the offensive and the defensive guys, but the head coach, they're a lot like the parents, right? You say, who's your favorite? You can't really give the answer to that. But what do you like coaching most? Is it the defensive guys? Is it on the forwards? Is it the goalie getting is that the crazy guy's head? Like, who do you like to talk to?
actually my centermen are my key guys.
Okay.
Okay, so you get a feel for the game through them. I really
Right.
feel that. My wingers, I can get them going up and down the boards and whatnot, but I find coaching kids and kids that are the smartest kids are the guys that can play center
Okay.
because they got a bigger job.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't play center. It's
Yeah.
all coming full circle to me now.
That's right. Well, like it
You
makes
were
sense.
that
Though.
guy up and down the boards. That
Up
was
and down the
good.
boards. We're gonna throw the puck in the corner and you go get it for me.
Yeah, like if you think about baseball, everybody that played shortstop turns into the major league style player. When you're in hockey, it's all the centers become left and right wings when they get to the show, right? Like,
They get moved.
all the best players are playing those central positions. And I would have always thought maybe goalie in hockey, but like recently I've been kind of swayed towards the center side, because if you're the goalie, goalies are just weird. Like I think like it's a weird bunch
I
of
don't
people,
even think you can get inside a goalie's head.
Yeah.
If you get inside that head, you don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
It takes a special person who wants to get hit by a puck.
Yeah, exactly. And so what are some wild things that happened in St. Thomas that you can say on Rogers TV anyway?
This is a family show, Joe.
I'll never forget the one brawl in St. Thomas when we played Thunder Bay. Everybody lost it, and everybody in the arena was at it too, because the fans from Thunder Bay were kind of crazy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Bunch of hooligans up there, eh?
I mean, the fact that you'd have to take a plane here just tells you all you need to know.
If you're not winning, you're winning something. It's that simple.
The one season with the Wildcats, we were in the championship finals. It was in Thunder Bay, and we had a fan bus go up to Thunder Bay.
Oh wow!
So the team, we flew up and flew back home. So we flew home the morning after our game in Thunder Bay, and got back from Toronto at around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The fan bus left right after the game on the Friday and drove back. They didn't get back until after we did the following day.
I bet you that bus was a wild ride, though.
Yeah.
I bet you the suns were flowing.
Yeah. All right, we got a couple minutes left here. Just tell us what's coming up for this upcoming season for the Cobras. And I think it's safe to say Joe's welcome back anytime.
Absolutely, yeah.
Here we go.
I need Joe on the show that's not G-rated, though. I need to hear more of these stories.
Joe's got to teach me how to skate. I think I got to join your skating camps.
But yeah, what's upcoming for this 2024 version of the Cobras?
So our biggest thing, our upcoming thing is a lot of the 10th anniversary stuff we've got going. So we'll be running a bunch of off-ice programs,
special gear,
barbecues.
Can we get some 10th anniversary gear?
Definitely.
Inaugural stuff.
I'll make
it.
sure we get some stuff. But our program is growing. This year here, our U9 team will be a work in progress. The last two seasons, our U9 teams were so strong, they played in the U11 division.
Oh, wow.
The one season, they actually won the U11 group.
Wow.
So that's how strong our younger group usually is. But this year here, we just look forward to being competitive all the way through.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. Like I said, we really appreciate you taking the time, because you have
I appreciate you guys having me.
365-day-a-year coaching clinic going on over there.
Yeah, 285 kids hanging out. I can't stay on my own too half the time.
Well, your Sundays are busy. Like I said, we appreciate you coming on. You can come on anytime you want. We definitely want to check in with you. And I think XL is probably good for like a 10th anniversary like t-shirt or something.
Make sure Kalen gets an XL. He'll tell you medium.
Yeah. We appreciate it. We appreciate all of our sponsors. We appreciate Kellogg for having us out here shooting the show. And we will see everybody next week.